smiling, Mia?
Hey, James.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We're having a conversation about just being a horrible leader. No. I guess just my process, right?
Yeah.
And I know that we had it slated that I would be one of the first interviews on the show. Welcome to MallBlack. We are black at it again.
We are black at it.
But the whole about my process, right? And a lot of times I'm all over the place. And I think the bad part about being all over the place is that, you know, there's a statement, you can't be in two places at one time. But if you figure out a way to really kind of do the most that you can in one place and do the most that you can in another place, it feels like you're in multiple places at a time. And I've mastered that as who I am as a creative, because I rarely miss a deadline.
Right.
Even though it may seem chaotic and I just don't know how it's going to happen, a lot of my life is operated on buzzer beaters. It's not a good thing. It's not a great thing, but it just happens. It happens that way a lot of times. So I know we had talked about like me being one of the first guests to have on the show. So here we are.
That's such a thing about the process, right? A lot of people get stuck here.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of black businesses and black entrepreneurs get stuck here.
Mm-hmm.
It's because we as black people, like a lot of the stuff that we try to do, we're figuring it out as we go. That's just
right.
That's just how we
right.
The system is set up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily know if it's because we're being oppressed or just because a lack of where to find the information or lack of resource. We don't get these same opportunities in schools and things like that. So a lot of the things we learn is because we have a passion for it. And so we figure it out and we learn it.
Right.
So the example that I always use, I was sitting with my mentor a couple years ago and she asked me, "What is your life like?"
Mm-hmm.
The only example I could give her was, you know, that guy in the circus that spins the plates.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Got
and
on the little straw.
Yeah, and he spins the plates, right? And it's this amazing thing, and you're like, how is he doing this, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're really paying attention to him, like, okay, this plate is going, and I'm doing something amazing over here, but let me hit that. Mm-hmm. And keep it spinning.
You always go back and check on the process of the progress.
And so that's my life. And I kind of feel like that's your life right now with this. Is that you're trying to make sure that these plates get spinning. And that's such a good analogy for people who are starting a business from scratch. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times when you start your business, you still got your 9 to 5 or you still doing another job.
Still got a family.
You still got your family.
Yep.
But this plate needs so much attention.
Right.
So how are you keeping your plate spinning?
I love the analogy of just plates because, like, you know, people use the term, I have so much on my plate. And I have a lot of plates. I do feel, you know, like I said earlier, in my most humble Monique way of saying it, that God has gifted me a lot. He has gifted me a lot of know-how. He has gifted me a lot of, he has gifted me the gift of knowledge, right? Of wanting to know more. Of being wise in certain things and then wanting to be wiser in other things. The ambition and the move forward and the go-getter. Like, he's gifted me with all of these things. And what happens is, because I always love things, I fall in love with things and I want to know more about it, I dive into them. So I dive into photography. I dive into, you know, lighting or cinematic lighting. I dive into audio equipment. I dive into, you know, medium of talk and radio and vocal. And what happens is that now I have all of the ingredients to do podcasting. Right. And so, or at least in the new age way of podcasting, how they are streaming and people are putting out their videos and so on and so forth. And so that brings us to this place, which is 9 in Studios. It was an idea that just was whispering in my head, and I kind of got the confirmation that I needed, you know, before we were at a different studio. I got the confirmation that I needed to just go ahead and start it. I didn't know how it was going to start, and even how I thought it was going to happen, it didn't even end up happening that way. I ended up holding a lot more of the weight than I thought I would. But outside of that, it's still done, and we're here now, right? And so going back to the plates thing, it's always been me. It's always been me. I've always, been writing a song and then having to go and edit the song. So I need to learn how to do that, and mixing and mastering, and then figuring out the show pictures and the videos that are going to be behind us on the stage, and then trying to figure out where the clothing comes. It's always been me. I always throw myself into every facet of it because, one, I never want to be lost in what's going on. I do the same thing in sound and pro audio or live audio. I never want to be lost. I always want to be in the conversation. I don't have to be the smartest person in the conversation, but I'm not going to be lost in the conversation.
Right.
So me just spinning the plates, yes, my life is just like that. I have a family whom I love, and they require attention from me. I have a business now that I am, running. And I'm the operations manager. I'm the CEO of this building, which feels good to say. The building, this space, and I'm able to have complete creative control. But it is one of those things where it's tough. It's tough here, and I'll let you kind of talk. But
don't get emotional.
I'm not getting emotional
because I'm a crier. Don't make me ugly cry on here.
No, but it is tough.
It's just a situation, and I remember I opened my first brick and mortar when I was 25 years old.
Gotcha.
I had no idea. I was lucky enough, shout out to my Dukes. My mom was like, I believe in your talent, and so we're going to do this. And
That's
so
dope.
We opened a day spa, and I felt like a lot of it was on me, and I did not know, right? Mm-hmm. And so I didn't really understand overhead. I didn't really understand the work ethic of the type of business I had when people are doing business as in your building, right? Mm-hmm. If they don't have work ethic, it affects both of you, right? And so there was so many things, and we fought with it for about 5 good years.
Yeah.
But it's a situation where there's a satisfaction that comes with building things with your own 2 hands.
Sure. And where I get faulted at is there are always more hands to offer to build it. And I'm very protective of the ideas that I have or the visions that God has given me. I have a lot of ideas. And sometimes I offer to do things, but quickly you'll find out I wasn't going to do it. It was just an idea. But if I really feel and care about certain things, what I do is I just do it. Mm-hmm. I show up at the meeting. I bring. I buy. I invest. I put my energy into it, or maybe it's unfair to ask people to be the same way. But when you realize you have to do it all by yourself, you kind of just say, "I got to do it. It's got to get done." Because if it doesn't get done, then I let myself down. I let whoever invested in me down. I let my family down because I've now taken all of this time away from them and didn't succeed away with what I said I was going to do. So it has to get done, no matter who is on board, no matter who is going to ride with you. You got to get it done. And in a perfect world, I want and need a team, because no one should have to spin the plates by themselves. Mm-hmm. But people do it.
Yeah.
And if somebody can do it, I think it's possible. And it's never fun. It's never fun. Yeah. It's never fun to hurt people's feelings. If I ever hurt your feelings or anything like that, it's never fun. But I don't want to stop because your feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
I don't. Because my feelings get hurt all the time. And I don't let that stop me. I can't let it stop me. Would it be amazing to continue to have, everybody you started with, and I definitely want to kind of just get to that elephant in the room, or elephants not in the room.
We miss you, elephants.
We miss you, elephants. But the reality of it is that
so here's how I feel about it.
You get it. Just finish filling.
Here's how I feel about it.
Got you.
I don't feel no kind of way about hurting feelings. I know that sounds really messed up.
Sometimes.
But it's a situation where, and maybe because it's my own personal preference, right? Mm-hmm. I don't like when people try to handle me.
Handle you, okay.
And so if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm not cutting it, if I'm not doing, and I'm not saying that that's even what happened here, because it's not, sure, but in my teams, in my plates, if I'm not doing something right, be direct with me and tell me, because that's where the growth comes, right?
And I don't mind that.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes we soften, but I think, and what has really hit home for me in these last couple years as I am moving on to new things and branching out on my own a little bit more, is that who you pick, who's on your team, especially in the ground floor stages, is so pivotal, right?
It matters.
Because you have to understand. So one of my teams is my ministry team. I direct the children's ministry at my church. God bless their hearts. I have cut those people up a couple of times. A couple of times. And I'm not saying it was right. I'm saying...
Right. I'm not saying it's okay. It's just...
No, in that moment, I needed it to be what I needed it to be. But I think I balanced that well with how I love on them in the non-pressure moments. Gotcha. How I show them appreciation in the moments where we not 5 minutes to showtime and stuff is falling apart. Right. You know what I mean? Right. In those moments where we get it done, it might be tense getting up there, but when we get it done, I let you know, and I'm not above an apology. I'm not above taking it. Yeah. When you tell me you cut a little deep that time, sis. Yeah. And I think that's the good thing about building a team. And I think as entrepreneurs, as people, you have to be honest about who you are. James and I have had many honest conversations. I feel like we jumped right in, but there was stuff we were supposed to say, so let me moonwalk a little bit. So we're back, obviously. Yeah, right. And what the situation is during season 2, we have done so many new things. Yes. And the biggest new thing, the thing that we're talking about, is that we are now in 9 Studios, which is owned by our creator, our visionary James Mays. Yep. And this process, right. Let's take that moment. Thank you, Jesus.
Right.
Let's take that moment.
You gotta look at your wins.
Yeah.
Look at them, appreciate them, realize what it took to get there, but then get back on the field.
Yeah. And so this process, this conversation is so real, right? Because we have people who watch us and who follow us who have dreams, aspiring to open your own business. Yeah. And so watching my brother actually go through this, it's the reason why we had such a long hiatus, is because we had to get it right for y'all. But so many things came up, and so many little intricate things that you have to consider, that you have to do, that you have to buy.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
That you have to buy. And you think about that, and you knew more about that than I did about when I had my business. I bought an existing version of the business I was starting. Gotcha. So it wasn't a situation where I actually had to really buy everything. And I just had to get the stuff I needed.
Was a blank canvas.
A blank room.
And if you see it now, which, I'm sure.
A blank, ugly room.
The paint wasn't all great.
I was scared a little bit.
But, and I'm showing you pictures right now of what has been done so far to the room, the process that has been made, where we were and then where we are now. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of creativity. It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of picking a color of a paint and realizing that paint don't work. It's a lot of realizing you paint it and then you didn't even need to paint that part of the room. It is a lot, but I'm very grateful for the process that it took, because it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about just getting up in the morning and getting stuff done. getting up in the morning and putting a list together and saying, this is what you have to get done today. And then looking at yourself at the end of the day and saying, all right, you grade yourself. All right, you got a C today. Yeah. You only got 3 of the things done on this 10 people list, which is actually an F. But, you didn't get things done. You tried to prioritize it and you got this done, but you missed all of these other things. And then, set up meetings and now get clientele, which is outside of what happens for just this show. Set up guest lists for this show. Protect the hearts of the people who are involved in this show. It's a task. Have I been great at it? I give myself a passing grade, but there are other places that it just didn't happen. It failed in certain areas. But what I will say, also celebrating another thing, we started in August of last year. In the midst of a pandemic. And all of this stuff was done while the pandemic was still going on. And as of today, the day we're recording it is still August. So this is our year anniversary. And sometimes when you're going through things, I said one time, like, people are only good for the birthdays, right? So people only show up when it's the celebration. People show up when it's good to, like, oh, look at this. This is a celebration. This is a party. But it's hard to make it through the year. It is. It's hard to be there with a person through the tough, through the storm, when things are getting low, when it's dark, when you don't know if it's going to actually happen again, when you don't know what it's going to look like. And we're getting there. We're going to address, once again, the elephants aren't in the room, but I'm very, very happy and satisfied where I am, and I do know that it's going to grow. I do know that it's going to get better. I read a tweet the other day and said, God would not give you the business plan and not supply you with the clients. And I'm making revenue from this process. Praise God. It's a thing.
Let's pause right there.
That's a thing.
Because and I don't know if people really realize this. You get an idea, you're excited about an idea, you like, this is gonna work.
Yep.
But the reality of the situation is that when you're looking at it from a financial perspective, most venture capitalists, most financial analysts, most marketing and COOs will tell you to not actually expect a profit for the first 2 to 3 years of a business.
Right.
And so when you're going in, look, don't go in there and quit your job. Still got to do the other stuff. Make $1 million. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that also that you reminded me of watching the process of 9 in Studios is that you do have to, and we're taught well about those other streams of income. How do you support yourself while you're building your dream?
Right. And I think you got to have a great support system. Shout out to my wife, to my children, to my church family, to my business partner. Shout out to you. I don't even know if you want to put his name out there, but whatever. So shout out to all the people who had support, right? Who was there. Shout out to you, Lamia.
Thank you.
Who was constantly not just a showing up factor, not just a financial factor, but like just an emotional support system, right? Because sometimes you need to hear you can do it. Oh, it looks good. Sometimes you need to compliment on the work that you've done. It doesn't need to be the complete pat on your back where I'm like babying you, but you kind of need to hear, okay, things are happening.
Yeah.
And you were that for this process. You were that for me. You were that, for the family. A lot of people don't know that the year that we've gone through as MallBlack, as I've gone through personally, as you've gone through personally, we've lost people. I buried my father this year.
Yeah.
You buried a great close
my best
friend.
Yeah.
Like it's tough, and when you have to deal with those things and those losses, you still got to push forward, and people will expect you to be 100%. Michael Jordan won a championship on the edge of his father passing away.
Yeah.
Like, he still needed to show up. And so that's all I really want to do here with 9 in Studios. I want to give some background, just kind of the name.
Yeah.
So 9 in Studios is a mixture of my children's name, my daughter Janai, and my son Janin. So 9 in Studios. And yeah, like it seemed like a no-brainer. It seemed like a no-brainer. How can I be creative? I would start by naming it after one of the best things I created. that God allowed me to be a part of.
That's amazing.
Was two amazing children who are low-key everything. If you met them, you just kind of see the light on them. Or high-key
That's
everything.
a fact.
They are super talented, little genius level. They're always top of the class. They're amazing personalities. They're respectful, but they're leaders. They're not pushovers. Yeah, all of those things that I am and my wife is, kind of collectively just in a stew of children, right? So this is their place. It's their namesake, and it just made sense. It just made sense to go that route,
I love that. So let's tell the people what you offer.
What we offer here. So we do podcasting, what we're doing now. Have a custom Rustic Future podcast desk. Shout out to
That's
Durian
so
Porter.
cool because that was our first interview.
Right.
And this is just as a way to let the people know.
Right.
That we not just
talking. We walking.
My bank account can tell you that I have made numerous purchases.
Right.
From our MallBlack constituents and people,
and this is a big purchase.
Support. Yeah,
and you if you follow us on YouTube, which should be right there at the bottom of your screen, if you follow us on all of our social media at 9 in Studios, you'll see the process of what it took to just get this desk here. And so we have the podcast desk. We have a lounge area where you can do interviews or your own version of a podcast. I have a cyclorama wall. If you guys don't know what that is, I'm showing you right now. It's an infinity wall. So we're open for podcasting, recording, and video, and streaming. We are here for photos and just interview space. If you just want to come here and have a meeting, I have space for that. Yes, my prices are comparable.
They're very.
But they will pay for this place. So,
amen.
Yeah, and those are the things that we offer, but also film editing, photos, photography. I'm here for it all. I love it. And if I don't know it, I'm going to learn it eventually.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn it.
It's such a unique space. It's so 9 Like if you know your family.
Right.
This is so the maze vibe of being here. Which I'm happy about because I know for me, I need my space has to be my space. You know what I mean? For me to get the best results, for me to get the best product. So I know that, you started this. And the thing about it is literally when you guys are looking at these pictures, know that he built them with his own 2 black hands. Like,
yeah.
But I'm proud of it. Like, I just think
Thank you.
You did such an amazing job. We have so many wonderful things lined up for MallBlack this season.
Yep.
As far as we're even going to dig deeper into the mall, which is what I'm 1,000% here for.
Yep.
The shopping. We are going to do more on location.
Yep.
And so this is my plea to our MallBlack entrepreneurs. Like, hit us up, hit us in the comments. We have the Million Black Businesses page.
Yep.
And that's where I do most of my online shopping.
It's a great
right
place to
there.
go and find something that our culture has put together and cultivated, and small business owners and people who are no longer going to be small businesses.
Right.
God has a plan for them and they're going to grow. So it's a great place to go, and that's a MallBlack page.
Yeah.
The 1 Million Black Businesses. So go to it on our Facebook page and check us out. You can follow us at MallBlack on social media, on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And then you can follow 9 in Studios on all of the platforms, YouTube. Oh, anyway, MallBlack on YouTube too.
Yeah, and I'll tell you a little bit about my Million Black Businesses story. I got into a situation where it's been a couple situations where I needed T-shirts.
Okay.
And this summer, like literally in 5 days. And every single time that I have gone on that page and I'm like, hey, I need so-and-so, it's been like 15 people that immediately coming back. So if you need, even if you don't have a business, if you need resources, if you're looking for a vendor that is Black owned, if you're looking for a vendor that will give you a fair price just because you're a part of the MallBlack family, that is the place to go. We need to push that more because it was so, like, I've been living in there just for all of my other ventures and things that I have been doing. And so just also some of the things that you can look forward to from us this season. We have hotel moguls. We have celebrity bakers. We have
realty moguls.
Yeah.
Actors and comedians and
athletes.
Yeah, everything. Musicians. And people like to kind of put us in this monolith of this is what we do, but we have nutrition specialists.
Absolutely.
We will tackle all of the hard questions, right? The things that we look at as a society. We'll have special people come in and just guest hosts with us. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. I'm glad I got my sister here with me. And so, speaking of Lamia being here, I want to talk about Uric and Lachey. So I wish them all the love and support. I don't know what's specifically happening with all of the situations. A lot of stuff just kind of falls on you. But I'll talk about my sis Lachey. I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that her family moved.
Yes.
Her family moved.
And that's the thing about the team that you put together. You chose this team. You chose the team because they were go-getters. You chose the team because they was going to get it. Right. You chose the team because of their business savvy and their minds, and you can't keep people like that in one location for too long.
Gotta let them fly.
And
right?
so my sis is out there doing it. She's expanding her empire.
Yes.
Uric Pecan Tan is out there killing it in the corporate world. And I'm sure that we'll have some drop-ins. I'm sure that. It's gone but not forgotten, gone but not goodbye. Right. And so they out there getting it. And so we just wish them just
it's all love. It's all love.
Success.
A lot of times schedules just don't allot
Yeah.
for things to happen in a certain way, in a certain manner, and I'm okay with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, they're both supporters of what we're doing here at MallBlack. I hope to see them in the comment section and hope to see it shared on their pages. A lot of times when God has a plan for you, you'll realize that everybody don't make it to the promised land with you. Moses started with a crew and was in the desert for 40 years. You got to imagine everybody didn't make it through that 40 years.
Yeah.
And then he got right to the promised land door and had to hand the baton off. And for me, I don't know where I am in that story, but if I am the Moses figure, I am ready to hand the baton off to my wonderful children whenever God says so. But at the same time, I do realize that things change, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with change, but it doesn't stop the process. Mm-hmm. It doesn't stop the process, you know what I'm saying? So when you see us on, all of these different platforms, when you see us on Clubhouse, when you see us in the 1 million Black businesses pages, when you see us on our own page, when you see us go live, tap in with us.
Yeah.
Let us know that you're there. Let us know that you have a business. Let us know that somebody wants to promote their business on this platform, because we're here supporting. This desk was not cheap. God bless you.
But it's so worth it.
But it's amazing.
So
it's
nice.
Amazing. And I appreciate craftsmanship. I appreciate businesses who don't always get a chance to kind of go to another level, because support is not just sharing. Support is also paying. Support is showing up. Support is the encouraging word. Support is sometimes $1 handed with nothing in return. Sometimes support is getting out of the way.
That's a whole word.
Because sometimes if you're in the way, you are not supporting the process.
That is a whole. I'm about to take up an offering. That's a word.
Go around. But yeah, I'm really excited for this year. I'm excited for these episodes that are about to come out. I'm excited for the process. I'm excited for the challenge. And so if you want to be a patron here at 9 Inch Studios, check all of our links. Hit us up. We have prices. We have process. We have product.
We got it.
I wasn't trying to make it one of those.
Right. We're not gonna take.
We recycle, we reduce, and we reuse.
Look, we not gonna take y'all stuff and you never gonna see it again.
Right.
Because I've had some of those experiences with media.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna look good.
It's a timely turnaround and it's quality. So
it's not gonna be PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. No. It's professional.
I mean, you looking at this right now. Look at what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And imagine what we'll be in a month, because I'm still upgrading. I'm still making changes.
Always.
I'm still doing things that are going to help us. It's going to happen. You kind of can't stop this train now. At this point, it's up. It's going. It's running. And I do appreciate everybody who supported me along the way. The people who let me borrow gear for the first couple, times I needed it. The people who gave me information. The people who, just prayed. The people who prayed. The praying folks. Don't stop. I thank every new client that I'm going to get. I thank every new contract and every deal that I'm going to have. I thank you for every opportunity. I thank you to one of my clients who let me mess up and then forgave me, because it is a learning curve. But yeah, this is a place of business. This is a place of faith. I believe God is in it. I promise you, all of this did not happen without God. It is a true, true blessing. So we will have other things that will happen. There will be more content that will come out. I can't wait to introduce you to all of those things. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk to some people. We're going to talk to some funny people. We're going to laugh. We're probably going to cry a couple times. I'm okay with that too.
James ain't going to cry.
I might. This is a moment. I might want to cry right now.
Don't, James.
No, really, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And, my wife didn't give up on me, when it didn't seem like it was going to happen.
Shout out to Lady Mays, because you know what?
She the best.
I'm a complainer. And so I just know that if the bishop was in a process like this, I would have a lot to say.
Right.
But I learned from her, because she is just the best support. She supports me in some of my stuff. Mm-hmm. She's the best support. So
she's on the design team here, and we're still putting some more stuff. Next time you see us, it'll be even a little bit more different. Anything else you want to say to me before we
I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Tag a friend as somebody that would like this, and I can't imagine anybody not liking it, because it's awesome. But just keep sharing, keep liking, keep, when we have a conversation, and Nine in Studios will be putting up clips of some of the things that we feel like our people need to know and hear. Share that, because it's not just entertainment for us. It's a situation where we both have a passion to just elevate our community, and I think that's the way, and this is the platform that God has given us to do that. And so just share, be a part,
and show up.
Yeah.
Share and show up. Like, when we're streaming live, show up, say hi. And then also support these businesses. Support these businesses that are putting themselves out there. It's not just me. It would be great to have all the money, but I don't need all the money. Right. I need some of the money now. But I don't need all the money. What I do need is for other people to get an opportunity to live their dreams.
Yeah.
And that person who is starting in their garage or starting in their bedroom or have taken over the living room and it's full of boxes, or the person who is, you can't park their garage, so every day gets snow on it, but they got packages and they got machines in their garage.
Yeah.
That's the person that needs your money. That's the person that needs your help.
That's so
because they are the next owners of these huge businesses. They are the next, moguls. They are the next millionaires and billionaires. These are people with great ideas, and they need more than just a share and a like. They need you to show up. So show up with your dollars, show up with your wallet, show up by gifting. We did MallBlack Christmas, and we'll do it again this year. Things that you can gift to other people. People who make soap, people who make skin products. Mm-hmm. Now we will validate and make sure these things are safe.
Right. And if it's not, we will tell you that as well.
There will be a stamp of a MallBlack approved stamp that we're going to implement this year. And we're going to tell you if we tried it and it was kind of not fly, and if it was
was whack.
It was horrible. So, but because we want the best. And we know that as a people, as a culture, as a melanated group, we can provide that.
Absolutely.
And so I thank you, and just know that we will be black next week. I appreciate y'all. Peace out.
Peace.
Black on black, black. Yeah. Hey. Okay, black, 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 black on black, black, my thoughts so black, 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 I'm black, my skin is so black, I'm rocking that black on black is black.